Hello, I'm with Mike Curtis of Wedge Networks to talk about the importance of virtualized security to service providers and their enterprise customers. So Mike, thanks for joining us. Tell us first what virtualized security is, how it differs from security as a service, and what the benefits are.
So I think historically what security as a service meant was taking first generation security technologies, point solutions, and putting those in the cloud and running those as a service for customers. What virtualization security means is taking these new enabling technologies in NFV and SDN and cloud and leveraging the orchestration, the scalability, the elasticity to embed this as a more high performance, available, agile security service across the network.
But how does it work?
Well, that can be a complicated question. I think that kind of what we talked about in some of the panels this morning. So you have virtualization security in terms of the applications inside of the cloud itself, and that's where you get into the actual hypervisor and the notion of containers and thinking about security in the cloud infrastructure, virtualized security in the cloud infrastructure. And then you have the networking side of that, and this is where we get into the idea of security as a virtualized network service or even an application sitting on the network. And then you can even extend that further out into the SDN conversation, eventually embedding security into the control plane and the data plane of the network itself.
And what steps do service providers need to take in order to implement virtualized security?
Well, I mean, I think it's certainly going to be a follow-on to whatever adoption and projects they have around some of these new areas as it relates to NFV and SDN and cloud, right? So security is going to follow along inside of that. So the key there is as they're envisioning and strategizing whatever they're going to do planning-wise for NFV and SDN and looking at those deployments, they need to obviously embed security at the beginning of that process as they're thinking about how to re-architect their networks with some of these foundationally new technologies that they're considering.
And how do you see this technology developing in future?
Well, again, virtualization security is a loaded topic. It does have multiple meanings in terms of, again, virtualization in the cloud versus virtualized security as a network virtualized service. And I think the answer is just simply maturity, figuring out the exact use cases, working our way through the adoption cycle of that and the maturity of that. I think the NFV piece is probably closer from a security perspective. The SDN piece is probably farther out. So I think that's what we'll look to see going forward.
Mike, thanks for joining us.